Hello and welcome back. In today's video, we are going to fetch all the records from MySQL database and display them in the Java application as tabular form. So, in our previous session, we created this method to get maximum ID from MySQL database. This means this method is responsible to get maximum ID from the addition table. And we also written code to save data into MySQL database. And this code can be used to save data into MySQL database in addition table. So let's go to the design mode. Here we want to use custom table. And you can use the Java Swing default table also. This is your choice. If you want to use custom table, you can get the custom table from the template. And you can use the Java Swing custom table also. Just select from here and find table. You can drag and drop here. But we want to remove this because we have already a custom table. We want to use custom table. Inside custom controls package, we have custom table. Let's drag and drop here. Thereafter, we want to resize this. And here also. Okay, let's change the variable name. For example, data display table. Okay, let's go back to the source code. And here, what we want to do. First, we want to import the required packages. Simple, import javaikas.swing.table.default table model. As you know that the JTable is responsible to show data. It does not manage data. Whenever we want to manage data, we will use default table model. The default table model can be used to manage data, like adding or removing data, adding or removing columns and rows. In simple terms, the default table model can be used to make table dynamic. Okay, thereafter we want to define simple method to get all the records from MySQL database. Simple, private void get all records. Okay, here in the first step, we want to read database connection from the JDBC connection class. Let's write a simple comments. For example, read database connection from JDBC connection class. For that, we want to use try catch with resources. Simple try, and then we will write the catch block. Inside the catch block, we want to catch SQL exception. SQL exception. Okay, we will write the SQL exception code later. Let's first read database connection from JDBC connection class. Simple. Connection con equal JDBC connection dot get database connection. So in the second step, what we want to do? We want to write a simple query to get all records from TBL edition. For example, write a simple query to get all records from the edition table. Simple, we will store query in string variable. String, for example, query equal select all from TBL edition. That is good. In the third step, we want to prepare SQL statement. Simple, prepare SQL statement. And for that, first we will define prepare statement. Simple, prepared statement. For example, ps equal con dot prepare statement. Okay, hereafter you want to execute that query and store the result in the result set. Simple, execute the query and store the result in the result set. Let's define the result set. Simple, result set rs equal ps dot execute query. Okay, the execute query method can be used to process the select query, and this method return result set. Okay, thereafter we want to define array to store column names. Simple. For example, define array to store column names. For example, string column names equal, we want to specify ID Then we want to specify edition name, edition, and then we want to specify description. After that, we want to specify a column for action. Okay, thereafter we want to create instance from default table model. Simple. For example, create instance from default table model. Simple. Default table model. For example, model equal default table model. Here you can specify column names and row count. You want to pass column names this array and row count 0. That is good. Hereafter, we want to process rows one by one using while loop, and you can use any type of loop. Simple. 7. Process rows or records one by one using while loop. Simple. While rs.next. Okay, thereafter you want to get data from each column. This is the step 8. For example, 8. Get data from each column. Let's store each column data in a variable. For example, string id equal rs.get string of id, edition id, and then string, for example, edition name or edition equal rs.get string of edition, and then string description equal rs.get string of description. Okay, that is good. We assign the data into variables. In the next step, we want to store these data one by one in another array. Simple. Create another array to store rows one by one. Simple. Object, for example, data equal, first you want to assign ID, then we want to assign edition, description, and action. Action, you want to specify null. Okay, the data is ready. Now we want to assign these data into table model. Simple. Assign data into table model, and this is the step 10. Simple model dot add row of data. Okay, in the last step, what you want to do? You want to display the data in this table. This table has data display table name. You want to copy this name, and then data display table dot set model, and you want to pass that model. Okay, let's write simple message in exception handling also. System dot out dot println, for example, database error. Okay, that is good. Our method is completed. Now we want to call this method inside the constructor to get all the records from the edition table. Here we want to call this method. Thereafter we want to run our application. Right click on that, run the file. We want to open manage edition. Okay, let's check that why the data is not loaded. Okay, let's check the get all record methods. Simple. Here we want to check. Okay, this is also an error which is not important, but it is a small mistake. Edition. Here we have a spelling mistake which is column name. This is important. Let's run our project once again. Let's open manage edition. As you can see, we got all the records from the edition table successfully. Okay, that is good. Now we want to save another record. For example, third edition. This is the third edition. The data is saved into MySQL database, and if you want to get the record after saving, you have to call get all record method on the save button. Let's call that. Simple. Here you want to copy get all records method, and then we want to call here. Okay, let's run the application. We want to open edition form, and here we want to insert another record. For example, 4th edition. This is the 4th edition. That is good. As you can see, we got a new record. End of this lecture. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.